Let's start with the blockchain department today. Two releases of NeoGo have happened during these 2 months. The first one is 0.106.2, which just brought the Domovoy hard fork and compatibility with 3.7.5 release of the C# node. And the last one is 0.106.3, which is a bit more important for NeoGo because we have rolled out some small improvements here and there just over the all of the code base. But at the same time, we have fixed some really bad bugs that affected the state compatibility for testnet network. So please upgrade your nodes if you have not done this already. One of the things we are experimenting with now is storing NeoN3 blocks in NeoFS. This was discussed numerous times already, but now we've got a prototype that can fetch blocks from NeoFS and basically synchronize the node using them. This can be very interesting and very important for the future protocol development, even though NeoGo can cut the blockchain tail in that we can remove all transactions from the storage and we can remove all states from the storage. We still keep old headers at least, because we need them to synchronize other nodes. With blocks stored in NeoFS properly, we can avoid doing even that. So this significantly reduces the amount of data that we need to store, especially on long-running networks or networks that have a very small block time. Because remember, if we have a block time of like 15 seconds, we have like 4 blocks in a minute, and you can multiply it to your perfect number then, like a week, month, or year. But if we have a block time of 100 milliseconds, like a very short time, then it explodes. And if we are to store every header of this chain, there's going to be a lot of data to store. To avoid that, we are currently doing these experimentations, and they are going well, and you can expect some proposals pretty soon. As you probably already know, this thing has launched and we know where it's heading. So for NeoSPCC, it was an important release because we are running a consensus node as well as bridge validator node. So we are on NeoX mainnet as well, we are part of it. And we have also made some modifications to node during this time frame, stabilizing the consensus process, even though it was running fine for quite some time already in testnets. But one thing that I wanted to talk about specifically regarding to this launch is where's the anti-MBV? To answer that, I can say that the decision to postpone it was made some months ago before the release, because even back then, we knew that this feature needs some time to be properly implemented and to be properly stabilized. It's a pretty complex beast that has a lot of moving parts. Holding the mainnet unreleased for more time just wouldn't buy us anything, because we already had consensus, dBFT consensus integrated, we had bridges implemented. Waiting for anti-MBV feature to be completely fleshed out would not buy us anything. We need this network to have people building on it, to make some partnerships. People need something to work against, migrate their projects or start new projects. And given this situation, the decision was made to release mainnet now and have this feature implemented in the next update that we are already working on. A new release of dBFT library was made recently that implements a new phase for dBFT that is exactly needed for the anti-MBV feature of NeoX. Before we have modified the code, we have modeled this change using TLA+ to really ensure that this resulting dBFT protocol that we get after introducing this phase has the same characteristics that regular dBFT has. Models worked fine, and we basically ensured that yes, this can be done, and now this additional phase is implemented in code. This release is an important step towards the complete anti-MBV feature implementation, and it's currently being integrated into the NeoX node. Moving on to NeoFS, we had a release in June that made NeoFS compatible with the Domovoy hard fork of NeoN3. Basically, that was it. Nothing else changed there. And we are also planning to have a release soon that will fix some bugs that we have fixes for in the queue currently. Nothing really big to be released in the 0.43.0 release, but at the same time we have more things cooking currently at the protocol level. These need more time to be settled, so they are gonna be rolled out in subsequent releases, and expect to see more interesting things in NeoFS next month. Let me also quickly tell you about the gateways, because we've got a number of releases there. We have a new REST gateway, we've got a new S3 gateway, and we also have a Neo Exporter tool update that's kind of in between the Neo itself and NeoFS. For gateways, we don't expect a lot of development to be done, but we are planning a release of S3 gateway in early August to solve some of the issues we know there and we already have fixes for. Otherwise, it's pretty calm there and the gateways are just ready to be used.